Hi, I'm Aaron, I'm 24 from Worksop. This is my Mk1 turbo MX5. Started with a Renault Clio, I think it was. Same as any young person starting out with cars. Tried to slightly modify it, putting stickers on it and different wheels and painting a bit. Soon went out the window and I moved on to a diesel Fiesta, which I wish I'd never bought, but you live and learn, don't you? Then moved on and bought a Toyota Hilux, like a double cab thing. Really cool thing, but it was just so bad on fuel that I just couldn't afford to run it at the time because I was so young. So then moved on to an Astra van, which was so much fun, but again it broke and moved on to something else, and then I bought this and just kept it ever since. Originally my friend bought one and I was a bit put off by it because obviously it's a hairdresser's car, if you like, because that's what everybody thinks it is. But I went in his and he had the roof down and we went down the bypass through where we lived in Worksop, and it almost like it was in Hollywood. It was like trees up and it was sunny and it was just amazing, and ever since then I just wanted one. So I like constantly scanned the internet for one. My girlfriend took me to Yeovil to fetch it, so it was like a 8-hour round trip to go and fetch it. So we set off early in the morning, drove down. I drove down in her car. I looked at it, immediately loved it, and it had done like just over 40,000 miles when I first looked at it. And I think now it's on like 50-something thousand, but that was a big influence in buying it because it was such a low mileage car. Just loved it, so bought it there and then and drove it back. It was completely standard when I first bought it. It had a slight bit of rust on one of the front wings. The guy said it had been fixed on the rear sills where it usually rusts, but it had been fixed badly. Yeah, it looked overall clean. It was, it was nice. It was kept in a garage. It was kept in the same family when before I bought it, and yeah, it was generally in good condition. The first plan with it, because it was such a low mileage, clean looking car, was to just keep it as sort of like keep it standard and leave it in a garage, drive it on summer's days and stuff like that, but that soon went out the window, and then modified it, wheels, coilovers, exhaust, and then it sort of just went from there, just full restoration of everything. So, it sort of spiraled out of control, and here we are now. It's I don't think there's many bolts that have not been turned on it now. The first things I did to it was completely strip the underneath, took all the wishbones off, took the subframes off, changed all the bushings, had everything shot blasted and painted so they all matched underneath, so it was not rusty anymore. And then after that, sort of started putting it back together, sort of started modifying it, if you like, with coilovers and wheels, and then got an exhaust put on it. And then it got to the point where I was like, it needs painting now, so I may as well fix the rust, make it wide body, paint it, get some carbon stuff like the bonnet, boot lid and the headlights. It's now turbocharged because it's what you do to an MX-5 if you've got one, and yeah, sort of made everything myself. I learned to TIG weld at work, so sort of put that into it, made a manifold, made an exhaust, did all the stainless intercooler piping. It's got a roll bar in it, a different steering wheel, some fancy LEDs in the clocks. It's had numerous different styles of seats in it, but I couldn't get on with any of them because they were too aggressive or they didn't fit right, or just generally couldn't get on with them. Made a centre console because I'm too tight to buy one, so made one that I copied off the internet. And door cards, they're just carbon wrapped door cards. It's had different styles of door cards in, but these are the ones that are in it now. And yeah, other than that, it's pretty tidy inside, hoovered well and just generally looked after. It was, till of recent events, my daily car because I didn't have anything else. I couldn't afford to buy anything else and insure anything else, but now it's just used for shows and days like today when it's warm and sunny. And just to generally have a bit of a laugh in, you know, do a few burnouts in Mexico and, you know, generally enjoy it now that it's summer and, well, we can somewhat go out and mingle with people. So the future plans are to make all the fabrication work again, like make another manifold, do a different sort of exhaust, do some titanium welding on it, like piping and stuff, and just generally do everything again that I'd learned to do, but do it better, you know, and then sell everything that's on it and just start again really with the whole turbo setup. Probably learning to do the TIG welding, like on thin wall stainless pipe, because I'd never done it before, so I thought I'd give it a go, you know. Never really done much welding, I just, you know, at work I do thick stuff, so I thought I'd try and do some thin stuff. So, you know, learned how to pie cut and learned how to purge stuff and stuff like that, just basically get a better understanding of welding pipe, if you like. Yeah, that's probably the biggest achievement I've done. I'd probably do some things differently, but I think the overall look of it would probably come out the same. Once it was first turboed and it was all mapped and everything was running right and, you know, it made good power, I'd had it on the road probably 2-3 days most, and I was coming home from work, following a guy from work round a few roundabouts, and it was slightly damp, and I underestimated just how powerful it was and how inexperienced I was at driving something that fast. Immediately spun out, went up a curb, and that's why the splitter looks like that. So, you know, cracked all the front bumper and learnt a big lesson of getting a straight line before you put your foot down, and, you know, but other than that, no, it's no really funny or sad stories about it. Just enjoyed building it and enjoyed going out to shows and stuff like that, just with, you know, with friends, and it's just generally good to be in a group of people with similar sort of like-minded cars. And probably fixing the rust, because it's just a minefield. It's just difficult. Like, welding on cars is not easy at the best of times, especially when you're dealing with something that's rusty, because it's like rust after rust after rust, and you've just got to cut it all back and start again. And I'd never done much rust repairs before, so it was sort of new to me, as well as, you know, amongst other things, but that stood out the most. It was so difficult to get it done and do it well, you know what I mean, rather than just patching up what's underneath. Actually fixing what's there is very difficult. So yeah, I'd say that was challenging. It's the first car I'd ever really modified as such, you know, like, well, if you like, rather than just having a first car and sticking some wheels on it. This has actually been done by myself mostly and helped by friends and stuff like that. So, you know, it's gone from being a standard car to what it is now, and just the journey it's taken and what I've learned so far going through it is, you know, you can't put a price on what you can learn, can you? So yeah, that's why it's so special to me. Like, it's mine and it's been done by me and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really know, because I don't really drive it very fast, but, you know, in Mexico, if you like, it's been over 100 in my possession, but it's not very comfortable driving it at high speeds. So yeah, I've never really been much past 100 in it. But other than that, it's very fast from what I can experience. But me not being in many faster cars before this, it's a bit challenging, if you like, but it's fun nonetheless. It's quite good, yeah. The parts are very easily sourced, because you get a lot of DIY people making like fiberglass wings and fiberglass spoilers and splitters and stuff like that. So everything's easy to find, but to find stuff that's good, like good quality stuff, that's the difficult bit, because everybody jumps on the bandwagon and makes like cheap splitters and cheap over fenders and stuff, and they're not very good, they don't fit, they split, and they're all wavy and stuff like that. So to find a decent distributor of parts is somewhat difficult, but the parts are there to be able to get if you need it in a hurry. You get mixed reviews from people, because obviously older generations see it, it's a loud, obnoxious car and it's purple and a bit aggressive. But like when you go to shows, you see a lot of people looking under the bonnet at stuff and looking at stuff that they could do to their car, and because a lot of the stuff I've done is DIY, so you can't buy it, it's made, not bought. So they look at it and they'll probably thinking, I wonder where he's got that from, because I've never seen that before. So you get a lot of attention from the stuff I've made, because obviously people don't know what it is, and might not be able to make it themselves and stuff like that. So, you know, you get a lot of attention in that sort of way, and just get a lot of attention of how loud it is and stuff like that. And, you know, it's got everything that everybody wants on an MX-5. So, yeah, it certainly gets a lot of attention from the MX-5 community, if you like. So, yeah. The club exclusive JDM, it's my friend that runs it, and I help him do stuff like at the shows and, you know, help him out and stuff like that. And underneath says Premium Car Club, and that's what it says up the side of the car and stuff like that. It's like a invite-only Japanese car club that's hand-selected cars through my friend who, you know, he messages each individual person who asks to join the group, and if it's a quality Japanese car, he'll accept it, but if something that he's not too sure about, he'll probably decline it. And, you know, it's just generally the best Japanese cars in the country. So the shows he runs and the stands he holds and stuff are all quality cars. Yeah, it's generally a nice club. You get a lot of nice people, friendly faces you see often. Like, you know, it's quite nice to be in a nice club rather than a club that's just, you know, negative all the time. It's mostly positive, and yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little community and stuff, yeah.